true story that happened to me 3 weeks ago. I work at a zoo, which is a pretty popular attraction, especially during the summer. We get a lot of tourists and summer camps. People often ask me questions, which I have no problem answering. I'm a people person. I work in different parts of the zoo. Every shift is different, and I can be moved at any time depending on where they need me. Most of the time, my boss schedules me in a gift shop. There's one gift shop in particular that people rarely visit because it is hidden behind bamboo and off on a far path. I get maybe 30 to 40 people on a busy day, which is nothing compared to our other shops. I was working and it was really slow as usual. I was playing on my phone and sitting in a children's fold-up camping chair in the corner of the room off camera so I wouldn't get in trouble. A man walked into my store alone, which isn't weird. Usually they are lost or looking for a bathroom or for directions, which is something I direct people to often. I walked over to the counter and greeted him. He smiled and walked up to me holding a map in his hand. I figured he just needed directions to an exhibit or a restaurant. He asked me where the snake exhibit was. I asked to see the map and got a marker out and drew a star where he was, my shop location, and a line heading to the snake exhibit and marked it with a star. He didn't take the map as I held it out to him. He just stared at me, smiling. His eyes wide and creepy. About a minute passed, and I asked if he needed any more help. He finally spoke again and asked if I ever got scared in the shop by myself. I laughed and said no. The reason I don't get scared is because there are literally cameras everywhere in this place. Every angle of every store, restaurant, and exhibit. There are even cameras hidden in the trees throughout the park to make sure people aren't up to no good. Plus, we have 4 to 5 security guards on duty every day, and they make rounds. I have never had a reason to be scared. I am a small girl, 4'10" in height. The reason I thought he might have asked was in case any animals got out, which even if they had, we have protocols to follow and tons of workers and keepers. He asked if I had any creeps or weirdos come in the gift shop and give me a hard time, and if it scared me because I was all alone in this hidden shop. I again said no, and that we have people come in all the time, and that it was a really busy store. I lied because I knew that no one ever came in the store, but I wanted him to get bored and leave. Long story short, he asked for my phone number and wouldn't leave. I refused politely and said I don't give my number out to strangers, and I was working, so it would be inappropriate. He was in his 40s or so and was fat and creepy looking. Even if I was not at work, I wouldn't have given my number. He asked if I had a boyfriend, and I told him that I did so that he would leave. Finally, people came in the store and wanted to buy stuff, and I thought that was my lucky break for him to get out of there, but he still stood there at the counter, smiling wide-eyed, asking me over and over for my phone number. I finally told him that I was closing and started turning the lights off, but really, we had another hour open. I just wanted him to leave, and he finally did. I got home and forgot all about him. I played with my dogs and ate food and binge-watched Netflix. Around 9 p.m. I got a call from a number I didn't know. I screened my calls for people I know, so I of course did not pick up for someone I didn't. If people leave voicemails, I listen to them, and if it is important, I will call back, and if not, I ignore it. The first call in voicemail was from the guy from the store earlier that day. He seemed angry that I didn't answer and asked me why I didn't want to talk to him. In the span of 2 minutes, I had missed 5 calls, all from this guy. He left me 2 more voicemails, one of them breathing heavily like he was extremely angry, the other saying that if I didn't want to talk to him, to call him back and let him know. I didn't know how this guy got my number to begin with, so I wasn't about to call him back. I didn't owe him shit. So I told my friend on IM and went to bed since I had to work early the next day. I woke up to 35 missed calls, 5 from his number and 30 from a blocked number. Most of the missed calls happened 2 or 3 missed calls in the same minute. I had 4 text messages from this number. The first said, "Why don't you want to talk to me?" The second said, "Why are you ignoring my calls?" The third said, "If you want me to leave you alone, say the word." And the last one said, "Are you working today?" Afraid he would come to my shop again, I texted him back saying that he was a nice customer and I was happy to help him with the directions to the snake exhibit, but that I had a boyfriend and I wasn't interested. I lied. I don't have a boyfriend. And I also asked how he got my number, since I know it isn't on any social media. He avoided my questions and kept calling me. I didn't answer any of them. He texted back asking why I was leading him on and why I was wasting his time. I didn't know what to do. He wouldn't leave me alone, and he was scaring the shit out of me. I called out sick for the next couple of days because I was afraid he would again come into the shop and hurt me. I didn't know what this guy was capable of. I mean, we had only had that one encounter in person, and then he goes off on me and stalks my phone. I finally blocked his number, but it doesn't stop him from calling my number by blocking his. It's been 3 weeks, and he calls me 20 times a day on a blocked number. I know it has to be him because before this, my phone never went off. I'm afraid he will come back and hurt me. He still calls me every day, multiple times a day, leaving me messages of heavy breathing or muffled yelling. Creepy guy from my shop. Let's not meet again.